Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Jeff from J Gamer, and this is my second vid, and I will be bringing you a Warhammer 40k unboxing of these three sets here. The first one being Dark Vengeance Starter Set, the second one being the Shield of Baal Deathstorm campaign, and the third being the Sanctus Reach Stormclaw campaign. This is only my second video, and I figured that one good way to do it would be to review all three of these together. If you're new and you're considering maybe getting into Warhammer 40k, this one of these three, if not all three, I think is actually a pretty good place to start. Within these sets, you're going to get a pretty good array of figures, of characters, and some pretty fun campaigns to play. I've only recently gotten into Warhammer. I've been perusing it for about maybe the last 6 or 7 months or so. I haven't had a chance to really play a game, and I'm hoping to get a chance to play a game very soon. I'm still getting somewhat acquainted with the rulings, with the flow of it. I'm watching tons of bat reps on many YouTube channels. There are tons of them there. There are even a few channels where they go over the rules and how to play. So for those of you who are considering getting into Warhammer, one of these three, again, if not all three, I believe is a pretty good place to start. For those of you who are like me, who have sort of jumped in, these three are a pretty good choice to kind of fill in a few gaps you might have within your force, or to even get your force started. And for the more seasoned guys, this might just be something fun to watch, to see these unboxings and whatnot. Like I said in the beginning, this is only my second video. The first one that I did was for uh, Hero Clicks. I did an Avengers Assemble unboxing. If you guys want to go check that out, I will leave a link in the description. You can go take a quick peek. If you think it was good, comment, like it, and just let me know what you guys think. So let's get into these bad boys and see exactly what they have for us. Alright guys, we're here and we're going to start off with Dark Vengeance. Um, the Dark Vengeance starter set was actually released in May or June, I'm not quite sure, of 2012. This is a re-release and update for the 7th edition of Warhammer 40k. Now this set contains a fight between the Dark Angels chapter of the Space Marines and a squad of Chaos Space Marines as well. If we turn it around, we can see in the back you get a nice little preview of what is exactly inside this set. You see a nice little layout of the armies. From what it says, you receive on the Chaos side, you receive one Chaos Lord, one Aspiring Champion, 6 Chosen, 1 Hell Brute, and 20 Chaos Cultists. On the Dark Angels side, you will get 1 Dark Angels Company Master, 1 Dark Angels Librarian, 5 Deathwing Terminators, 10 Dark Angels Tactical Marines, and 3 Ravenwing Bikes. Now, If you were thinking about maybe going the route of the Dark Angels, I think this set is actually pretty good for you. Or even if you just wanted to uh, get a Chaos Space Marines uh, army started, I believe this is a really good set to get as well. Now, I think it's worth mentioning that in this set, you will receive one exclusive figure that is only exclusive to this 7th edition of Dark Vengeance, and I believe it is this individual right here who is Vrosh Tattersoul with background, story, and data sheet. I believe he is the exclusive figure that is specifically and only received in this set. I don't think it's the Chaos Lord, as I believe you got him in the original one. You guys that either had the original and know about this new set can correct me if I am wrong. I have no trouble with being corrected in any shape or form, so please feel free and let me know. But let's turn this around, pop this boy open, and see what's going on on the inside side. Now, as would be expected for any starter set, you receive, these are the bases for the figures, the miniatures. These are 2 measuring sticks. To be honest, it took me a while to figure out what the hell these things were. I was a bit confused, and I remembered that for those of you who are new, Warhammer is a game that is played with a tape measure or a ruler. Whenever you do an attack or a movement, it is all done in inches. So you need to do a lot of measuring. So I guess they felt, this being the starter set, they're not gonna, Game Workshop is not gonna shell out the dough and give you a brand new tape measure. No, they'll give you these 2 thingamajiggies right here, which can really put somebody's eye out. Let's put that thing to the side there. Right here, Dark Vengeance, Warhammer 40k. These are the instructions on the materials you would need to put together the figures. As you can see, it gives you detailed instructions on how to assemble these figures. Now, if you're new, this is, in my opinion, the best route to go. This is, in all sense of the term, a starter set, because the figures are pretty much already assembled. You merely have to put together maybe 1 or 2 pieces. As you can see, let's say in this form here, this I believe is the company master. His body is pretty much completely formed. You simply have to attach his arms, which he's holding the sword, his head, and the backpack, and then you just attach him to the base. If you're not familiar, if you were to buy a, I'm not sure what they're called, but for the sake of confusion, let's say if you were to buy a booster box squad of either, let's say, Terminators or Tactical Marines, the sprues come, I'm sorry, the figures, they come in actuality completely eviscerated. The heads are not attached. The legs, the torsos are split. The arms are not there. You have to put the figures together pretty much from scratch. If you're new, that might seem like a very daunting task, but it actually allows you to customize all of your figures however you want, which I think is pretty cool. I'm a I'm a big fan of being able to pose my models the way that I want and in the way that I want. So this set, you know, if you're just starting out, I mean, the poses are actually pretty cool, you know. So I don't think you would want to change up too much, but as you can see, this gives you pretty good details on how to get these figures together. And of course, you know, they have to be glued and painted, which there are tons of tutorials online on how to paint them, where you can get the paints. Of course, you can receive all of that from the game's workshop site, or if there's a game's workshop store near you, you can get everything you need. So we can actually put this to the side. Quick reference sheet, pretty much self-explanatory there. And this is the bio and backstory for the limited edition Brosh Tattersoul. He looks pretty badass, you know, and it gives you all of his stats, his strength, his AP, his range, the weapons he carries, and everything. All of this, of course, in 7th edition format. Right here is his assembly chart, and this is how he would look stomping through the field with his squad there. Squad of the Chosen, I guess. Here, how to play. Read this first. Can't say anything more about that. There it is. You know, and the main thing that I love about Games Workshop is their attention to detail. As you can see, this is a full color. I mean, great detail. It is just beautiful. I mean, this is one of the things that really attracted me to Warhammer 40k, aside from the fluff, the lore, the backstory. I played the real-time strategy games, which was Dawn of War, Dark Crusade, Winter Assault, Soulstorm. I played Dawn of War 2. I mean, you get really engrossed. Now this, I'm told, is really what it's all about. If you don't know, the rule book for Warhammer 40k is a pretty large hardcover book. It actually is about an 850 some odd page book. But what Games Workshop has done with these starters is they condensed it down to all of the core rules that you would need, which comes out to this 208-page book. It's a lot easier to transport. You can get to the rules you need and want right away. Now you're probably like, well, why is the original book so big? Well, because it contains a lot of fluff for each and every race and army and faction, whatever it is you wanted to know about the army that you have chosen to play. The hardcover has all of it. This simply gets rid of all of the fluff, and it gives you the bare rules. So you can always just get this, go through the rules. If you want, you can go back and read about the fluff and all of that stuff if you have the hardcover. But from what I've been told, this is something that is very sought after. Everybody loves this thing, and to be honest, I can't say as I blame them, you know. So you have that. And here we go with the sprues. Now this is this sprue is the, let's see here, you can see right here, this is the Raven Wing Bike Squad. It also contains is Terminator, pretty cool. And there are actually a few cultists here as well, so this isn't a too bad of a sprue there. For those of you who are new, this looks a lot more intimidating than it really is. Right here are a few of the Dark Angel Tactical Marines. But remember, you have all the instructions that you need. They're at your disposal. It's going to tell you exactly, where each piece should go and with which piece. And right here, you get a pack of dice, including a scatter die, which, if you don't know what that is, don't worry. It's in the rule book. Everything will be explained. You're going to need a whole lot more dice than this, but this being a small set for beginners, this might be fine, but you might just want to get your hands on a few more dice just to be on the safe side. Now, right here is your, who is this? I believe this is Rosh Tattersoul. He has his own sprue, which you can see right here. There's his body, his axe, headpiece, knife. I mean, this dude is ready for war. You get that bad boy. Right here is your Chaos Lord, your chosen, and as you can see, right here is your Hell Brute. This, I believe, is the back end. This is the front. A few more pieces here, and I mean, this is just a very detailed sprues. The pieces just look gorgeous, and once you put them together and they get painted up, you are going to be impressed at just how good these things look, man. Here's the other half of the bike squad, and I believe some more tacks here. And some more. Yeah, you get quite a bit of these things. Here's the head of the company master, some more Terminators, the Deathwing Terminators, and Raven Wing Bike Squad. And it's just a very, very beautiful pieces, man. It's some really good things. And these are the templates which you will need, as certain weapons require these blast templates, which signify explosions. You have the large, the medium, and this is the teardrop, which is primarily used for flamethrowers or flame units, whatever you want to call them. So this set is actually a very good starter, because in reality it is that. It gives you all of the core things that you need. You need the template piece, obviously you have the troops, your sprues, and all of that. So this I think should be the primary place to start for any beginner. So this was actually a pretty good look. So let's move on to Shield of Baal Deathstorm and see what that bad boy has to offer us. Alright, let's continue the review with Shield of Baal Deathstorm. Two armies clash in the 41st millennia. Now this is what is known as a campaign set. Let's turn it around. As you can see, just like with the Dark Vengeance set, they give you a nice little layout of the armies. Um, they give you a synopsis of everything that you get. Obviously, 40-page Deathstorm campaign book. You get the Blood Angels Captain Carlan. I'm sorry if I forgot to mention, this campaign is a battle between the Blood Angels and the Tyrannid. So again, if your area of interest was either the Blood Angels or the Tyrannid, this isn't a bad place to start. But again, you get one Blood Angels Captain Carlan, 5 Space Marine Terminators, 5 Blood Angels Death Company, 1 Blood Angels Furioso Dreadnought. So in this set, you actually get a vehicle, which is cool, or rather a walker unit, which in the game is a very powerful piece to have. With the Tyranids, you get 1 Tyranid Broodlord, 8 Tyranid Gene Stealers, 3 Tyranid Warriors, 1 Tyranid Carnifex. So this isn't a bad piece. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you pros, you adept players, the squads that you receive in both the starter and in these supplements, I think their point cost is somewhere within maybe the 500 point range. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I am not sure, as again, I'm still pretty new, so I'm just sort of learning this stuff too. But let's get this all open and see how this looks. Again, some nice looking sprues here. Now, alright. Unlike the Dark Vengeance set, where the majority of the figure was already assembled, that is not the case with this set. Just on a side note, as a starter set, I don't think this would be a good choice. I think this is a great choice if you already have a pretty good idea of how these things are assembled and what to expect. The only reason why I say that, because when you look at these sprues, this can be somewhat intimidating, even for me. And I have put together a few of my own models, and I think I did a pretty good job. Now, me not knowing a thing about Tyranids, and I'm not really collecting them, this would kind of throw me off a bit. But I'm also the kind of a guy who's a glutton for punishment too. So I'm the hard-headed type to go out, get this set, and just figure it out as I go along. Again, tons of of tutorials and junk. So, but here are some of the arms, some of the weapons for, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the Gene Stealers, or this could be the Warriors. Again, I'm not sure. Now this sprue, because I am collecting Space Marines, this is a sprue of the Blood Angels Death Company, who are actually assault Marines with jump packs. The jump packs are right over here. Again, it can look somewhat intimidating, but don't let that scare you off. You get used to it. It's not too bad of a thing. I love it. I just do. I am one of those guys who just loves the complexity of these things. Some more Tyranid sprues. I'm not sure if this is of the Carnifex or the Broodlord. Actually, these are some smaller pieces, so maybe these are the Warriors. I'm not really sure. Again, you more seasoned guys, you know more than I do, man. I would appreciate any and all feedback. I mean, help a brother out. And give me a moment. Let's see what else is in here. We have some more Tyranid sprues. As you can see, this is a pretty big gun bit there. Try to get this centered so you guys can pretty much see. So I like to turn them around, turn them over. You get a pretty good look at it. Alright, this is just like the last one. There's a lot of Tyranid heads, arms, torsos, and legs. Now, as for the size of these sides, I think this might be a piece that belongs to the Brood Lord, who's a big, bad Mamma Jamma. It's probably his head right here. I'm not sure. I don't know. Or these could be the Tyranid warriors in actuality, as they are. You see, they're split in half. So, I want you guys to see that there. Their guns here. Okay. Now this, I think, this might be the Brood Lord, because this is pretty big chunks of meat here. Look at this thing. Scary some of them. You know what. Watch our languages here. And let me see. This is our Furioso Dreadnought. Alright. Dreadnoughts are, of course, I don't think they're I think they are a vehicle choice, I think, or maybe they're heavy support. I'm not sure. Again, still new. You pros, let me know if I'm right or wrong, man. I'll appreciate it. I will appreciate it in the end. We all would, all as beginners. But this is definitely the sprue for the Dreadnought. Here are some of the pieces for the Terminators. I don't know how well you can see this right here. This is the Cyclone missile launcher. Right here is an assault cannon, heavy flamer, chain fists, swords here. I mean, pretty badass pieces, man. Alright, here are the body parts for the Terminators, the legs, torso, face pieces, what have you, whatnot. Here are the heads. Blip, blip, blip. Right there, you know, not bad. Yeah. Another piece of Tyranid sprue here. And this, I believe, this might be the Carnifex. I'm not sure. I'm only thinking that because it's sort of, it has its own sprue, and I believe all of the pieces for it are right here. Now, I believe I should mention, I really don't know the difference between the Brood Lord and the Carnifex. I think the Brood Lord is, you know, just by its name, it's a lord. I'm assuming that's the biggest one of all the Tyranids. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is the Carnifex. Alright, that's just me throwing that out there. And of course, okay, my bag ripped or something, I don't know, but of course, you know, some bases, different size bases. It's a oval shaped base, and I believe this is Captain Carlayan. Here we go. This is the captain. So you see, so you get an HQ, which I think isn't bad. Now, when you consider the price of these things, and I'm not gonna tell you the price, as that might deter you, but when you consider the units that you get, the cost of them individually, you actually make out pretty good when you get either the starter set or the supplement. Put that to the side. Of course, you saw the bases, and here again, campaign rules, supplement rules. Now, I like this rulebook in particular only because it's a variant cover. If you remember from the Dark Vengeance, it actually had a Dark Angel Tactical Marine on the cover. This one has a Blood Angel Tactical Marine on the cover, which to be honest, I think this one looks better. But that's just me. But as you can see, it's nice and wrapped up. Now, if there's one thing I'm sure you've probably noticed is no templates, no measuring sticks, no dice, because I don't believe this is intended to be a starter set. I think these campaign supplements are put together with the assumption that you're somewhat familiar. You would have already gotten a starter set. You have a tape measure. Maybe you already went out and brought the templates that you need. I said bought the templates that you need. So this could be good for a beginner. If you think, well, you would prefer to start with this, I think this is not bad for a starter set. If you're like me and the complexities of these things don't really bug you, I say go for it, man. Especially if you either want to begin with the Blood Angels or the Tyranids. This is a great place to start because you will actually get a jump on the armies that you like. And this is, again, a pretty great place to start with. You get what you want out of this set. You get an HQ, you get some troop choices, you get an elite troop choice, and you get a walker, which is pretty good. And I believe it is the same for the Tyranids as well. You get your troop choice, you get your HQ, you get your big badass thingy there. Either it's the Broodlord or the Carnifex. Those of you who collect Tyranid, you can tell me who's who. I would imagine the Broodlord is the HQ, and maybe the Carnifex is the equivalent to the Dreadnought. Just assuming, I don't know. So we're pretty much done with this one, so let's move on to Stormclaw. Alright everybody, last but not least, here is Sanctus Reach Stormclaw. I have to make a slight confession. I should have probably done this one before I did the Shield of Baal. Only because I think in terms of the release, this was released before Shield of Baal. But the reason why I'm doing this one last is because the army that I have chosen to start building is in actuality the Space Wolves, which is my favorite Space Marine faction. And this particular set is Space Wolves versus the Orcs. Turn it around, take a look, see what's going on in this one. Again, like all the others, you have a pretty good layout. You can see what you get right here within the supplement. Here is Grook Face Ripper. These orcs and their names, man. Right there is Crom Dragon Gaze. Space Marines and their names. Wow. In this box, you get, of course, the campaign book, Space Wolves Crom Dragon Gaze, 5 Space Wolf Guard Terminators, which is good. Space Wolves Pack, which is good, which, if you know, you can make the Space Wolves Pack into either Grey Hunters, Blood Claws, or Wolf Guard, which is pretty neat. You get that pack, and then for the orcs you get Grok Face Ripper, 5 Knobs, 10 Gretchen with 1 Runtard, and 3 Orc Killicons. I find it a bit odd that in this they give the orcs 2 Killicons, because I think Killicons are actually walkers. So it's either the Space Wolves are just that badass that they need to bring Killicons, or I don't know, man. But if you're interested in starting with the orcs, I think this is a good place to start. Now, me being a fan of the Space Wolves, I had to get this set because I needed an HQ. I needed some elite troops, and within this set, I got that. And I think it's a pretty good buy, man. So we can step down, crack this open. We could take a peek at this one here. This is a pretty long sprue, which is cool. I think this is all orcs. This might be the knobs. Let me see if you guys can see that. Bring it back a bit. Yeah, these are the knobs. Here are the heads. Some of the guns. You see some shooters, as the orcs call them. Burners. Axes. Rippers. Everything ends with an A or an AZ at the end of it. Yo, the orcs are a funny bunch, man. These guys are like nuts, but from what I hear, they're pretty fun to play with too. Orc badasses there. And here are my favorites, Space Wolves. Gotta love the wolves, man. Now, if you're wondering why I'm so enamored by the Space Wolves, because if you know the lore, the Space Wolves are actually the rebels of the Space Marine Army. They do not follow the Codex Astartes as was laid out by Robert Gulliman, or is it Gilliman? I can never pronounce these things properly. They pretty much do their own thing, and no other chapter can tell them squat about it, because they're just that badass. But yeah, the Space Wolves are basically space Vikings. You know, they're a very warrior-oriented bunch. They're vicious in battle, and if you know about the background of it, they were the Emperor's executioners. When he wanted someone or something wiped out, he called the Space Wolves, and they handled the business. But as you can see, these are the Wolfguard Terminators here. Right here, you have the Wolf Claws that are right over here. Assault cannon, some torsos. I think Crom is in here as well, because I see this large cape. So this is a heavy flamer, some heads and so on. You know, pretty good, man. Pretty badass. You know, I had to get that, baby. There's some more orc weaponry. I think this might be for the Killicons, which are badass in and of themselves. So again, if you are interested in collecting either the Space Wolves or the Yorks, again, these campaigns are a good place to start. Like with Deathstorm, you can either begin with Blood Angels or Tyranids. Dark Vengeance, you have the Dark Angels and the Chaos. And these are very good, great places to start. And then from there, you can figure out where you want to go. Let's take a look at this piece. I think this is maybe the War Boss. This might be Grook, ripping off faces and whatnot, which is probably the case. Yeah, I think this is Grook. These guys, man. And you got some of the runts here, or the whatever the hell they were called. I forget. These things are tiny. Look at these guys. They're what you would call meat shields. You send them out just to die. Alright, and this is the tactical squad, or the pack, as the Space Wolves call them. But again, this squad of 10 can be made into actually 3 different squads: 2 regular troop choices and 1 elite. The Wolf Guard squad is actually an elite troop choice. The Blood Claws is a regular troop choice. They're more so for close combat. And then you have the Gray Hunters, which are your tactical Marines. So it's pretty good right here. This looks familiar to me because the first set that I got was actually again, booster box of Gray Hunters, which can be again made into either Blood Claws or Wolf Guard. And of course, you know, Wolf Guards can be upgraded into Terminators. So there's just some more of them, the same thing. And let's see here. Okay, I was mistaken. This is Grok. You can tell because he's huge. This is Grok Face Ripper. As you can see, I think that's his face, his mouth, whatever. His body's pretty big guy here. This is gun. Power Claw. You know, it's pretty good there. And I believe this is Crom. Yes, I believe this might be Crom. Yeah, I think it is. So yeah, so I mean, again, this set, pretty good, not bad at all. Of course, once they're assembled and put together, everything's alright. And as you can see, it essentially comes with all of the same things. You have your decals here, which I'm sure Deathstorm also had it within the pack. And I mean, right here is basically the things that you need. Again, another rule book with the supplement there, all the bases you would need, and that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, I cannot stress this enough. The minute I got into Warhammer, I just completely fell in love with it. It is just one of the best games, the story in terms of sci-fi, and I'm a pretty big fan of sci-fi, and the way these stories are told, the lore of it, the armies, the races, the factions, it is going to pull you in. If you are a huge sci-fi fan and you're not squeamish about things being a bit bloody and brutal, you're going to love Warhammer 40k, man. I mean, you just have to get into this. I cannot stress this enough. Yeah, so we're done with this, and we'll come back and we'll wrap this up. All right, boys? All right, so we're here for the wrap up, and you know, these are what I believe are the 3 best choices to begin. Now, you don't have to go this route in terms of where to start. You can always go to the store. You can go on forums to ask. You can go on YouTube and just place comments to find out, excuse me, where you should start. But I just thought this would be a good place, or a great way to show you some options that you might have. Like Dark Vengeance, you have your Dark Angels, you have your Chaos. Deathstorm, you have your Blood Angels and your Tyranids, and with Stormclaw you have your Space Wolves and your Orcs. So this is you know, pretty good, a pretty good selection here. It's a great way to start. I myself, I have always been a very dedicated collector. When I see things that are somewhat limited edition, I always feel compelled to buy them. So, which is one reason why I really got the Stormclaw, because as I was told, or that I found out, the Stormclaw was actually limited edition. They did not make too many of these. So once I heard that, I just had to get it. These two you should still be able to get either on Amazon or in your games workshop store. They should still have these two. This is a bit more difficult. I only got this one off of eBay. um I searched everywhere else and it is nowhere to be found, but it is limited edition. So if you can get it, I would say do so. Maybe you veterans might not agree and say these two, or maybe this would be the best choice as they are a tad bit cheaper. Um, Again, I'm gonna try to keep up with these videos, bringing you guys good content. Um, I'm still new to making videos, so if you hear me do a lot of ums and ahs and I tend to, stutter a bit, that's just, that nervousness, guys, but with time, as I get better, it'll be much smoother. Everything will flow far better. But if you guys enjoyed the review, again, uh like the video, subscribe if you want, and I will see you guys next time. And everyone, again, this is a great place to start for both boys and girls. I don't want to exclude the ladies. We got a lot of cute, very smart, talented female gamers out there, and you know have fun with it. All right, keep gaming.